I mean, if anything, I think of Coffee Party as a democracy movement because we're not being represented well in our government and in the media for a variety of reasons. But to me, a lot of it having to do with just the corporate influence in both media and our government, you know. And this has actually, this special interest problem has been part of our government since the beginning. And various times we were warned by various leaders that this is going to be even a bigger problem as we go unless we rein it in. But it hasn't happened, and here we are. Now, in terms of what we can do, this is a vision I have, is that we need to practice democracy in 3 steps. The first step is open civil dialogue, which you guys are already doing. The next step is really informed deliberation. And what is deliberation? It actually leads to decision making, right? And this is where Washington gets stuck. That's what is called gridlock. They can't make decisions because they're entrenched in warfare, okay? And yeah, you can say it's because they're putting their party interests first, but really when it comes down to it, they're putting themselves first before their constituents because they're trying to get reelected, and parties have institutionalized the electoral process. So you can't get reelected unless you get support from your party, and unless you get fundraising with help from the party, you can't win. So there's gridlock. We need to show that we can come together, a diverse group of people can come together, have dialogue, get information, deliberate, and make a decision. Okay? So we need a process that is bottom-up, democratic, within the Coffee Party movement to go through those 3 steps. So whatever the outcome is, you feel like it's gone through a fair process. You may not agree with the outcome, but you feel like the process was fair. So for that vote, and we're going to figure out as we go how often we vote and so on, for that vote, you feel like you didn't get your way, but you respected the process. And that is what our government is supposed to be like. We're not going to always agree with the decisions, but you feel like the process was fair. Right now the process isn't fair. It's been corrupted, right? So we need to show a more pure form of democracy where you all have equal vote, right? And it is a bottom-up process, right? And we're right now very close to getting to the point where we've had this kind of open civil dialogue, which you guys are very good at, and you have made history with it because people are writing books about it. The second part is deliberation, and there are 2 issues that have really emerged, and we're going to vote on this, or do a poll on this on Friday. Two issues that have really emerged where there's a consensus among the Coffee Party people that these are very important to us. One is about money in politics, the role of special interest in our politics. You know, there are multiple ideas for how to deal with that, but we need to, I think, focus our attention, you know, and become educated on ways of dealing with that, you know. But we are going to do a poll and make sure that there's buy-in from you guys, everyone out there, that we need to focus on how to deal with this problem, right, getting money out of politics. The second one is Wall Street reform. And this is an emergency, you know. We've got to deal with this. We've got to face reality. You know, we can't sort of walk around things thinking, well, maybe it's all over. Maybe they got it figured out. No, they haven't, because people, even who are so-called the smartest people in the world about economics, are arguing about it, and there's no real agreement about how to fix it. And this affects all of us. How old are you? 14. Okay, what's your name? Isabel. It's going to affect Isabel far more than any one of us, because she's going to have to live with the consequences for a long time. You know, if we have another crisis, you know, I don't know what's going to happen. So we've got to focus on this. And this is based on the reports we're getting back from the meetings and from the forums. This is something we want to address, right? So, but we're going to do a poll starting on Friday for 48 hours where you get to say, I want us to focus on these issues, right? And then we're going to have to really learn it. We need to become informed and learn these issues because they're very complex, right? Even just on, Wall Street reform, multiple questions. But one interesting debate that's going on is whether or not we break up the too big to fail financial institutions. And very smart people have disagreements about this, And so I just would like for us to take the time to learn these issues. They're complicated, but we need to be informed when we make a decision about what we want to stand behind. Can we come to consensus here about what we want to stand behind? Is it that we, they're like with Elizabeth Warren, for instance, she's been trying to put together this consumer protection agency where financial products are things like computers and toasters and whatever that are regulated. So they can't just make toasters that blow up in your face, right? So we don't have those kinds of protection with financial services. So the banks can do whatever they want right now, and there's no legal protection.